So, what is the connection between tarot and hypnotherapy? Well, there isn't one, is there? Or is there? Welcome to the dark side of spirituality. I am your host, Richard the Urban Warlock of Urban Warlock Healing, aka the Destroyer. So, this is kind of a little bit of a bugbear of mine that's been ticking over for the last couple of years. I've dipped into this in older content, and I just wanted to kind of rehash it, really, go over it. So, I'm best known for my divination tarot readings. If you don't know what divination is, it's predicting the future. Now, believe it or not, I am one of the only divination tarot readers on the event circuit. Now, back in late 2022, 2023, I started to do a little bit of research, if you want to call it that, on the frontline research, because I noticed that a lot of my counterparts, despite offering tarot, were only offering present and past readings. Now, I thought this was odd, so I started asking people, and I could be wrong, but from what I could find, and apologies if you do divination tarot and I've not mentioned you, but from what I could find, there was only me and Vala who do divination readings. The rest of them just do present and past readings. Now, having asked a lot of these readers who they trained with, they all trained with the same person. Now, this person, as I've mentioned previously in content, in my opinion, and it is just my opinion, they're not actually a tarot reader. They're a spiritual medium. You know, the fact that I heard them talking to a client saying, when the client questioned the tarot cards that they were reading, they said, "Oh, these are my own. I only use my own. I don't use any others." Now, don't get me wrong, I only use the Rider-Waite's. I can use other cards, but I prefer using the Rider-Waite's because of, you know, the most popular tarot deck in the world for a reason. I mean, that in itself is just an upsell to sell his decks. Now, sadly, and this is going to annoy people, of all the people who have trained through this person, I can only name a handful that are good card readers or psychics. The rest of them, no offense, but you're all shit. No, you are. You're not psychics. You haven't actually opened up and you've just done a course and think you can read tarot. Now, the irony of it is, as I always say, with me, to read divination tarot, you don't actually use your psychic abilities. You read the cards. That's why we're called readers. But this hasn't been taught. Now, as I said in my previous content at the time, the argument to this is that my counterparts will say, yes, but if I tell you what's coming up in the future, that's going to get stuck in your head. It's a psychological thing. And my argument to that is, well, I am extremely connected to the cards and source. I'm so confident in my tarot readings that if somebody put a gun to my head and said, do me a reading, if it doesn't come through, I'm going to blow your brains out, I would say to them, as long as you just let this play out, you don't interfere and meddle, because tarot is not fixed, then yes. Now, that has nothing to do with me and my psychic abilities, because the cards are picked by source. I am just the reader. But that's how confident I am in my readings. So my argument to this is, if I can tell you what is coming up in your future, I can then give you some advice. I have a degree in advice and guidance. And try and activate you as an activator reader to break that cycle. And I have been able to do that with people. And I have. Okay. Now, for me, if I was a client and I was going to a reader for a tarot reading, you know, the most well-known kind of spreads is past, present, future, I'd be disappointed. I'd be really disappointed. Not going to lie. I want to know what's coming up. I know my past. I know what's going off in the moment. Now, I'm happy to do past, present, future, because sometimes with the past one, people want to know what's happened in the past, any clues. The present's a clarifier. just to give them confidence in the reading. Now I've known this for a long time, and the whole setup seems to be a bit of a scam because from what I understand, from what I've been told, and again this is what I've been told, this is not fact. This person's partner then tries to upsell these poor bastards social media courses, and from what I've been told, they basically say you'll never make it if you don't do this course. Dollar dollar. Now alongside this, I've more recently noticed, if you want to say that, a lot of my counterparts, specifically the ones who only do present and past readings, also offer past life regression and hypnotherapy. Now, if you go to a Mind Body Spirit event these days, 555 on the timer, my number, yeah. It's like a Scooby-Doo episode. Psychic medium, tarot reader, past life regression, hypnotherapy, and it's just the same thing over and over and over again. And these people are being trained by the same people. Now think about it this way, right? You go to learn to read tarot, and you're told that we shouldn't be doing future readings, we shouldn't be giving advice, blah blah blah. We're not qualified to, blah blah blah. Putting things in people's heads. Now, these people are so ingrained within the community that they've got their clients, they've got their mainstay at events, they can basically do whatever the fuck they like. Now, you as a new reader, you're all excited. You can't wait to get out onto the circuit. Problem is, you can't get anywhere because they hold the monopoly. So what then you're told is, oh, have you thought about doing past life regression training? That's popular. So then off you go to the one that's suggested, and these people mindlessly, blindly go and sign up to this stuff because they think that that's going to get them the work. The irony of it is, the more people that are doing the same thing, the more it waters it down. Now, I'm not having a go at people for training people in a specific modality. Of course, I'm not. And not everybody will go on to this to do this as a full-time job. It's not their purpose. It's not their role. But the problem is we've bred this this system, this machine of bad reading style, and then going, well, you ought to go and try this. You know what I mean? And it's just feeding in this loop where the monopoly hold all the power, and anybody new doesn't get a chance. I've also heard rumors that these people they train you up, and then as soon as you want to get going, oh no, they're going to be calling you up. You can't go there. You can't do this. It's a load of bullshit, basically. So yeah, don't blindly sign up for stuff thinking it's going to make you psychic, because it doesn't work like that. You are a psychic. You have psychic abilities. You are a frequency, just like I am. It just depends how hard and how bad you want it. Funnily enough, when people often say to me, "Oh, did you see dead people when you were little?" No, my programming was so fucking heavy. It has taken me many years to open up. Like I say, not with tarot, because you don't need psychic abilities to read tarot, and you don't. Like I say, you read the cards. It's a story. But if you want to be a good psychic, you have to put the hard work in. Nobody can tell you how to do that. You spend hours lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, asking questions, seeing what comes into your mind. Just beware of this toxic system of power within our industry. And I'm using that word because that's what it is. Not community, it's an industry. Okay? Don't put that down so easily. Ta-ta.